Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's obviously Friday. It took me that long to figure out where my unmute button is. But welcome to Open Office Hours. I'm Crystal Hinkle. I'm part of the team here. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tatiana. Nice to see you all here. Welcome, everybody who's new.
Absolutely. And yes, I'm sure you noticed right away, it's just the two of us today. So we are going to do our best to get through all of your awesome questions. So, yes, if you've joined us before, thank you so much for coming back. We really love doing these. If this is your first open office hours, welcome. Happy Friday. This is really a forum to ask whatever questions you have, and really it doesn't matter. If you're in a trial brand new, you can ask questions that to you you're like afraid to ask or something like that. Just ask. And then the same goes for people that have been using Synchro for a long time. So all questions are okay to ask. If we don't know them, we'll tell you. But we do our best. We also have started doing deep dives. And so for today, I'm really excited. Tatiana's going to do a deep dive. And just so you know, everything is recorded and we do post this on YouTube. So if you come in late or if you missed last week's or something like that, you can always check out the recordings on the YouTube channel. But I will pass it on over to Tatiana.
Awesome. I appreciate that intro, Crystal. Happy Friday. So yes, for those of you that have recently started with Synchro, you'll notice that it is super easy to set up, super intuitive to use. You can just get started right away. Our software was designed by people who have been in the MSP industry for a long time, who have worked as MSPs and know the exact processes you guys go through on a day-to-day basis. And then for those of you who have been here for a while, you also know that Synchro is highly customizable. Once you start digging into the intricate settings, with mostly found in the admin section, you'll find that it's pretty easy to make Synchro work in the exact way that you want it to. So one of the examples that I'm excited to show you guys today has to do with the custom fields as well as how they tie into our worksheets. If you haven't seen these yet, worksheets will help keep your processes consistent. There's a ton of different ways to utilize them. I'll show you the most obvious way first, how to set up that one specific example, and then a couple other options that are available to you as well. So since this session is recorded, you can always come back and review. I apologize if I'm going to be flying through here. I just want to make sure that we have enough time to get through the other questions that you have as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to just dive right into this. So yes, I do have a ton of tabs open here, but just bear with me. I think you guys are going to learn some pretty cool things today, and hopefully this will spark some creativity for you guys and how you can apply this to your business. So we'll start here in the customer information section. This probably looks super familiar to you. You're in here every day. I'll show you my favorite way to create a ticket. It's going to be actually just using this magnifying glass. I show this on every demo. The reason I like this is because it attaches the asset automatically to the ticket, so saves you guys a couple clicks. So just as you would start a regular ticket, if the customer's on the phone, you have entering your notes here. I'm going to select virus removal in this custom field type, and I'll show you how that ties into the worksheets, which I'm going to be diving into today. So by me selecting virus removal in that custom field type, what that did is it automatically pre-populated this worksheet right here for me. Worksheets, like I mentioned, are used for multiple things. This one right here specifically is being used as an active checklist. So if you wanted to keep processes consistent, you could utilize worksheets for that. You could also pull in worksheets that you've set up ahead of time. So another example that I'll walk through today is new employee setup. Maybe you have a specific set of steps that you follow for every new employee that your customers bring on, and you just want to make sure you don't forget to follow any of those steps. Maybe that you can use this as an easy way to train your future employees. So again, you can pull in worksheets kind of on the fly. Last thing I'll show in this specific section is you can create worksheets right within a ticket. The text boxes, check boxes, drop down menus, you can organize these in different sections. A lot of people utilize tickets and keeping track of just smaller projects within Synchro. Utilizing these, you can include custom links, different things like that. So that is, again, the most straightforward way that I can kind of introduce the concept of what worksheets are and what they can do for you. So what I'll do next is we'll head over actually to the admin section, and I'll show you a couple different things in here. If you go to to admin, you open up your ticket worksheets. I'll show you how to actually set these up. So a couple of things that I wanted to mention here. You have the capability, I'll show you what this looks like, but just keep this in mind. You can use this tag to make your worksheets available via the customer portal if that's something that you wanted to do, and I'll show you an example of that. So again, we'll click into the virus removal, where if you can clone these, you can always rename them. You'll obviously be creating a new one, but I'll just show you the one that I have set up already for the time that we have allotted here. So again, here's those checklists that you saw on that ticket that I just created for my customer. The important thing here is, again, if you wanted to make this public, so that your customer can see what these steps that you're taking via their customer portal. I'll show you what that looks like. Another tip here is that if you want to, you can label this as required so that tickets cannot be resolved unless this worksheet is 100% complete and finalized. So I'll show you this top section really quick first, just because I do think it's a pretty cool feature. If you go over back to your customer's profile, or actually I'll show you where to pull in the template tag. If you go to your PDF templates within Synchro, go to your ticket templates and just put in that tag in here. Again, if you go to your customer's profile and then open the customer portal, this is what they would see from their perspective. And again, that open ticket, this is the one I created earlier this morning when I was preparing for this. I opened that here in a new tab, and you'll see the second example that I was showing you is if your customer maybe wants to see it, like, hey, where are you in the process of setting up my employee, or you have a specific contract in place specifying what it is that you're going to be doing when a new employee comes aboard. It's a really easy way to show them that section there. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just clean up some of these tabs here just so we kind of can stay organized here. So that's the first way. There are two other ways to utilize ticket worksheets that I'll go over with you guys today. Another one is going to be how to utilize the worksheets via the system tray icon, and as well as via our widgets. So usually when I show worksheets, the first question I always get asked is people say, how can I attach worksheets to tickets that my customers create? So I showed you how your tech can attach the worksheet, and this is going to show you instead if your customer's creating a ticket to still attach it that way as well. So what I'll show here is if you go over to the first one I'll show is via the system tray icon. So if you go over to your policies section, go ahead and open your agent contact forms. And I'm going to open this emergency one that I have listed here. And you'll see that, again, it's the same concept here. You're just attaching that custom field type to this specific agent contact form. And again, since that custom field type is going to be linking to your worksheet, it'll pull that information in as well. So again, when you go over to your policy, if you add that as a menu item for your customer to choose from via the system tray icon, they would just select that as an option here, agent contact form, pull in that emergency, and then again, it will populate that worksheet that's attached to that custom field type. So that's the second option there. I'll show you more specifically exactly how to actually attach the worksheet to the ticket custom field type as well. So again, if we go back to the admin section and we head over to your ticket custom fields, in this section, this is where you can build those custom fields that that your tech was choosing from when they first built the ticket. So I have in here built virus removal custom field type. If I click into manage fields, this is the only thing that you have to do in here is just make sure that that worksheet is attached to that custom field type. So again, anytime the custom field type is selected, whether it's your tech opening a new ticket or your customer creating a ticket via the system tray icon with the agent contact form, it'll pull in this attached worksheet here. And then the last example that I'll show you guys today has to do with being able to allow your customer to create a ticket via a widget that you can either give them a live link to or embed on your website. So let's say for this specific example, you have set up a place on your website and it says, if you have a problem with a virus, click here to submit a ticket. And so in this section here, you can add widgets and different steps, as many as you'd like. I only have 3 selected for mine, and I'll go through in each of these settings here to show you exactly which ones I have selected if you want to set up this and kind of play with the settings here. So customer detail, I didn't show these as required since I just want to really quickly show you how this works. In the issue detail, I did not select show issue type. I just selected issue subject, description, and in here I'm only going to select for the custom field type. I'm going to select a virus removal custom field type, and then I also want to make sure that that my customer gets some type of confirmation and auto creates a ticket that will show like, hey, this request went through. So let's go ahead and test this live. I'm going to say hello. Again, obviously they would be filling in their own information. We can say hi for the subject. And that's literally all that it would do. And so from your perspective, there we go. It just created a new ticket for you. And you'll notice that in this ticket, here's that virus removal worksheet attached. And that was your customer setting that up for you. Another option would be if instead you wanted them to have an option or a list of settings to choose from or issue types to choose from, just go ahead and select multiple custom field types. So again, in this section here, you can select all of them. Save the settings. We'll go ahead and demo this live again. Close these other two. We'll say hello again. We'll say hi again. And oh, I was too excited and let me see if I don't think it'll let me go back, but basically I don't think it will. Yeah. So if we say hi again, if you go in here, you have now the option to select from the different types of custom fields. So again, if you had that new computer setup or new employee setup and you had a worksheet attached to this custom field type, again, it would populate that, that worksheet for you. So I'll go ahead and submit this again. There's most likely 2 tickets in there now. But if we go over to the ticket section, you'll notice that it's listed right in here. And it'll pull in that appropriate worksheet. I don't think I selected a custom field type that had any worksheet attached to it. So that's the basics there. I think that's everything that I had to show you guys today. So hopefully that again sparks some creativity for you guys and how exactly you can utilize this for your specific business. Again, we support a ton of different types of MSPs. Some of you guys are, you know, internal IT departments. Some of you are in one specific vertical and you're serving one set of customers that kind of do the same exact thing. Some of you guys are supporting small businesses, which is awesome too. So hopefully that helps. And let us know if you have any questions. That's it.
Well, that was awesome.
I'll stop talking now.
Ask the question. I was like, I'll try to do as many questions as I can and allow you to take a breather because that was so good. A lot of information. And again, like we said, it's recorded. So if you want to reference something that she talked about, I actually am not going to promise it's going to be posted today. I think the gal that normally does that is out today, but it will be probably next week. So I'm going to address some of the questions in the Q&A. One that had to do with worksheets, and it's more of a feature request, and I'm all for it, is basically like a community worksheet library. So I would love that. So I mean, we definitely hear that often. So I'm going to pass that along too. We've been trying to think about different ways that we could just do that somehow, even if it was outside of the app. So yes, good request on that one. There's a few questions I'll just let you know that I'm just double checking with technical support too. I wanted to just verify, and if you know this, Tatiana, feel free to hop in, but it says, when a customer pays an invoice online, it is no longer auto-resolving the ticket. Am I missing a setting? As far as I know, you're not missing a setting, and I actually don't think that is the behavior that we have set to happen on the back end. I don't know if you're saying it was happening at some time and now it's not, but I'm verifying. I don't think that it's set to auto resolve the ticket if the invoice is paid. So I don't think you're missing anything on that one. Jeremy wants to know, how would you go about listing WAN IP addresses of all of clients' assets? And he wants to know if that's a new hairstyle, Tatiana. It looks very nice.
Thank you.
I'm getting a little bit of clarification for you, Jeremy, but I did want to just show this because this is something that we've recently released. Just and like, I'm not saying this is answering your question in any way. I wanted to show people that in your admin section, since we released like auto approve assets and that kind of thing, you can have, require asset approval as well, but you can then select, hey, I just actually want to auto approve assets from known IPs. So if there's already someone in that customer that has the same IP, it'll just automatically recognize that as a known IP. So there's nowhere here anyways to input that. And so I'm not actually sure there is a place where you would go about listing that. You could, of course, create a custom field for either the customer or whatever level you'd want to add that information. But I'll get a little bit more clarification on that for you, Jeremy. Javier wants to know, is change management on the roadmap sometime soon? So that's a really good question. I have talked to folks for 3 years now that have some sort of change management in place that they've been able to figure out like the best way to manage that within Synchro. I don't know of any near future plans to like head on tackle change management as a whole. But if you have specific workflows and things that you'd want to track, maybe put some detail there so we could maybe give some suggestions. And then another question, is there a way to have reoccurring tickets not be assigned to a specific tech? So I was just doing this. You can actually unassign tickets, like, and assign them to nobody. And so then I'm fairly certain, like, if you're assigned or if anyone's assigned to the ticket from here and you create a reoccurring invoice, that tech will be assigned to the reoccurring ticket. But I'm fairly certain if you just change the assignee to no one before you create the reoccurring ticket, then there won't be a technician assigned. Okay, I'm kind of flying through some of these, but Rafi says multi-part question, and don't be sorry. We get this question a lot actually, and so I'd like to address it. The first part is, are contracts separate from monthly invoicings? So if I want to set up invoicing for a client, do I do a contract and then also do a recurring invoice? Are they tied together in some way? So I'm going to start there. Yes and no. They are tied together in certain ways. And so let me just show you, for those of you that maybe have not kind of played around with contracts and reoccurring invoices or invoices in general. The main way that contracts are tie to actually invoicing is pricing. So you can do override pricing here. And then again, if you have it applying to, so like this one, contract applies to all tickets. This is no. So like this would not show up on a ticket even if you set that contract pricing. So normally this is yes, if you have override pricing here. The other thing that comes in handy is like if your contract has an end date. And the reason for that, let me just go ahead and open invoices. So right now I'm being very, kind of like high level, not really diving into a ton of detail, but just showing you that they are totally separate. Like you wouldn't be able to create just a contract and invoice your customers. You could do it the other way around. You don't necessarily need a contract, but I'm going to show you one of the ways that it's helpful. So on a reoccurring invoice, one thing that I do like is that you can attach a contract here. So not only does it, of course, take on that pricing, but you can have Synchro create a ticket for you before that contract expires. So that is one useful case of linking the two together. Now, when it comes to the second part of your question, how do I set up a multi-tier contract / invoicing, for example? Some things are included every month, like antivirus backup. Then we have X hours of remote support included. Then any on-site or stuff beyond the 4 hours would be a certain dollar amount. So all of that would be done on the reoccurring invoice. Now, if this is a little bit of a trickier setup just because you have some types of labor that's included. You'll have essentially prepaid hours for remote support. So we do have what we call prepaid hours. And so it would look like block hours. You set a standard line item, you create a set of block hours. And what I'll do is I'll put the knowledge base article, because it does walk you through how to set up block hours and make sure that those labor hours are counting against your prepaid hours and then would start charging them if they went over the 4 hours. Now, I will say that like on-site stuff, that you have to create a labor type that's basically exempt from counting against your prepaid hours. And that's, I believe that's also in the knowledge base article. That gets it's a little bit trickier and a little bit more detailed, but it's absolutely possible. So all that entire scenario can be built in the reoccurring invoice. And really you're using contracts to do override pricing. And I mean, this does come in handy because maybe you charge one customer one thing for on-site labor and one another, or you have a contract that on-site labor is always included or remote labor is always included, whatever that might be. So think of contracting as a way to manage your pricing, and think of invoicing as a way to actually bill your customers, and you build that all out in the reoccurring invoice. So hopefully that helps. And then let's see, I've got one more and then I will take a breath. Is there a way to make sure selecting a contract is mandatory when submitting or working on a ticket so a technician will not forget? I know there is a way to make the same ticket for a company auto-populate a contract, but not what I'm trying to do. Just trying to force a tech to choose a contract before resolving the ticket. So the short answer would be no. And let me just go to a ticket really quick, but I maybe have a workaround. So I'm just going to go to a ticket here, because one thing that you could do, so what you're saying is that you want, before someone hits resolved, you want them to have added a contract. What am I looking at here? Why does this look so funny? Am I missing some? What the heck? What am I doing here? Hold on. Let me look at a different ticket, because I literally was just looking at this, but now I'm thrown off. Let me grab a different ticket. Let me grab one for Larry. And our little thing keeps coming up on the top, and I'm fairly certain I changed that setting. Here, am I missing something, or was contract not there on that other ticket? Anyways, I might be out of my mind. This is what
it might not be built for that customer that you were looking at, maybe.
Got it. Okay.
It was a brand new one that I just built, so that's probably why. Yep.
Okay.
You got it.
This is what you're asking, like that it prompts you to change or add a contract before actually hitting resolve. So the only way I can think to like actually prompt is if you added like change the contract to a worksheet and made the worksheet that says you can't resolve the ticket until the worksheet's finalized. That would be one way to have that pop up. I can't really think of any other way. Can you, Tatiana?
Nope, I can't. I think that's how you would do it.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, I will stop sharing and let you take it away.
Okay, sounds good. I just disabled that widget too, because it also throws me off since we don't usually have that there. Okay, next question here is from Miles. He says, on the subject of customers paying online via the via the portal, is there a way to be notified when the customer pays the invoice? Yes, there is. I will show you how. If you go over to your notifications within Synchro, so admin section and the notification center, and then open a notification set. And I just searched for payment, I believe. Yep. And so it'll take you to this section here. So you can get a notification for both, whether the payment was made via the customer portal or just any payment was made or any updates were made to those. Again, in the notifications, you can choose how you want to be notified about the things that are the most important to you. Get an email, text, in-app notification, which is kind of, it'll pop up in this top right-hand corner here. Mobile webhook is for Slack. Teams is available too. And you can also get notifications in this section here or down here too. So hopefully that helps answer your question, Miles. Next one is from Justin. He says, import and export worksheets to CSV. We could share them that way, as well as more easily build and update more complicated worksheets outside of the web editor. Just make the changes in the CSV and re-import. I love that. I think that's a super cool suggestion. Of course, not currently available, but I can see how that can work. And then that way you can edit in bulk and do all the even more awesome fun things with that. So yes, really good suggestion. Next question is from Leah. She says, with the new chat feature, is there a way to identify which tech made which comment? I was actually looking at this and I was surprised. So obviously you can see when you are on a chat who it's assigned to. You can reassign it to someone else. I'm not seeing a way for it to have like the tech name in here or anything like that, but I did check. If you go under the customer's profile, you go over to the chat history, it will show which user was assigned to that chat there. So hopefully that points you in the right direction. Question from Rick says, if we have a customer with multiple locations, how can we build a main account but indicate on the invoice what location the work was done? I opened a bunch of tabs for you, Rick, and I was looking for this, and it looks like if we go over to there's two sections I checked, and the ones I think that will work best for you is if you go over to your admin section, PDF and email templates, you can either edit the ticket template or the invoice template. And both of those, I just searched for address, and there's lots of options in here. So I think it'll take some testing, maybe just test one of them with all of them and see which one is actually going to pull in that, because you can even pull in the ones that I saw was asset address. I think that would be the closest, but again, I would just test that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure, and I haven't had the time to test this live. So I would just check that. Another one I looked up, I think location was one of them too, ticket location. So I would check both of those. And again, once you find which one will actually pull in that information, I do believe you can edit the ticket, which will carry over to the invoice, or you can add it to the invoice directly. So again, hopefully at least that points you in the right direction there. And then last question is from Leah for me. She says, what are the best project management programs that will work for Synchro via Zapier, etc.? And I personally don't have a suggestion that I hear very often, so I'll kind of leave this up to you guys. For everyone that's here, all 36 of you guys, if you guys are currently using project management through Zapier or anything else, or through the API, would you let us know, and we'll share that with the rest of everybody who's here.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'd like to know too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna grab just a couple. Would you show us step-by-step program inventory and how to uninstall them company-wide? Yeah, let's go ahead. If I'm reading this correctly, and if you think maybe I'm not, I'm thinking in the policy third-party application patch management. Is that what you're okay? All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna head over to policies because we have made a huge update. So you can either go into individual policies, but since we're talking about this, let's just look at third-party application patch management from the modules here. So obviously you can see we've got kind of a repository here, but I'm going to create a new one. Now, this is set on a policy level. So you'll see that we do have Chocolatey running. This is Chocolatey's database on the back end. So these ones are just organically there for you. You can choose which applications you want to install, update if present, or just don't install ever, kind of like block that installation. Now, you also have the ability to add applications. So this was a huge, huge deal. I think I keep hearing Brandy, I think Tatiana both have said there's like 7,000 applications in Chocolatey. So really whatever you want. I mean, obviously this is a popular one to just install Zoom, for example. So this is where you could really customize and add whatever applications that you want to make sure that you're installing and keeping up to date. So you can add those there. And again, this is on a policy level. So this is global, and you can make that change at any time and then apply it to a policy today if you already even have it installed, and it'll take on those new settings. In addition to that, we've given you some granular settings here on if you want to actually schedule those updates and that sort of thing. So you have a lot of control over applications and how the policy manages those. Now, a few things that I'll just show you too. I like showing this just because there's several ways to just get visibility as to what applications are installed, what versions on what computers, that kind of thing. So one way to look at that, there's several. I'm going to show you a few. I love the saved asset search because not only can you search for an installed application, but you can search for a version. So there's a lot of granularity you can get using a saved asset search. Then you can see exactly like if something has, is way outdated or whatever that might be, you could get a saved asset search for that. In addition to that, all computers, if you dive right into just the asset detail screen, and when my computer decides to do that, weird, what happened? What happened, everybody? I know my internet's been super weird. I wonder if it's just, let me go into this machine again and see what we've got going on. If not, I will, yeah, weird. Must have been on my end. So you have on all machines, you have installed applications. So you can see, like you can drill down onto an individual machine and see which version it's installed and all of that good stuff. So you have visibility there. The other thing that you can do is you can head over to reports and you have a software inventory report as well. So like if you wanted to say, hey, I want to know all of the stuff that's on Larry's machine, and for some reason my computer is running super slow. I hope I'm not cutting out. So from here, you can see like all of the different versions that are running and that sort of thing. So you have a lot of visibility here. Now, the second part of your question isn't as easy to answer because I'm not someone that runs scripts or knows how to write scripts. But essentially, if there's something that you want to uninstall and you want to do it like company-wide or anything like that, I would suggest you run an asset search. Drill down to all the assets that have that application and then choose to manage and run a script to uninstall. So that's the best way to do that on a global level there. Anthony wanted to know, is there a way to get webhooks to Slack to go to specific channels instead of everything going to the same channel? Not right now, as far as I know, unless someone has gotten super creative. I don't know if there's anything that's been done with Zapier, but as far as I know, it's a one channel thing right today, as of today, anyways. Okay, that's it for now.
Awesome, super helpful. Thank you, Brandy. Question here from Eric, or I'm sorry, from Aaron. He says, I made a few custom asset fields, but I'm having issues in putting information into them. What am I missing? I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you what he is referring to. So if we go over to just the assets in RMM section, there's a couple different things here. You do have the capability to add asset custom field types for your Synchro devices, meaning that it is a endpoint that has the Synchro agent installed on it. You also, I wanted to mention, have the capability to have manual asset types within Synchro too. This is basically anything that you need to keep track of for your customers that does not have the Synchro agent installed in it. So that whether that's maybe like a printer or iPad, anything like that, and you can manage custom field types for those manual assets as well. So I went ahead and I opened this section to edit the custom fields for the Synchro device. There's a ton of different ones that you can choose from. Check boxes, again, text boxes, links, different things like that. There's a ton of different types of fields you can include. And so I guess my question for you would be, if you go over to once you build that custom field type for either the Synchro device or for the manual asset type that you're building, you should be able to just go over to the endpoint and you'll see all of those empty custom fields here first. And then obviously you would need to populate them if you go over to edit the actual endpoint in here. I have the ability to kind of type that information, whatever. Obviously, I have a ton of just super random examples in here, but I think you guys get the point. I also wanted to mention we do have with our scripting, you do have the capability to pre-fill custom fields. I will say up front, I don't do scripting. I'm not a scripting professional, but I can at least point you in the right direction of kind of kind of the next steps that you would take, and I'll also drop a training video down into the chat box too. So a couple things here. We do include a PowerShell module for you guys in here, and in here you have a built-in command that allows you to write to your asset custom fields. Again, so if you built a script in here and you're trying to pre-fill those custom fields, you could run a script if you're trying to do this across multiple endpoints. I believe if you go over to the the assets and RMM section, you can select which endpoints or select in bulk and then manage and then run a script with that command in that script, if that makes sense. So hopefully that points you in the right direction, Aaron. Next question is from Anonymous. They say our emails are going to the junk folder. Is there a reason this is happening? And I verified with support. It looks like they would need to go over your settings and configurations in order to help you with that. I'm sorry, I'm not able to troubleshoot kind of on the fly for that. So those are the two that I had sitting in here. I'll let you take it away, Crystal.
Cool. Okay. Larissa says, I want to enable credit card processing. However, recommended WorldPay is not available in Canada. Do you have any other recommendations? I'm hoping to automatically charge the customer's card kept on file for reoccurring invoices. Is Stripe available in Canada? Stripe?
I feel like it is. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel pretty strongly about it.
Pretty strongly too, Larissa. You could, the same functionality works actually with Stripe, and I'm fairly certain it works in Canada, but I'll do a little research and let you know. But that would be the recommendation on that for right now. Let's see here. Brian, we're gonna do this on the fly. In saved asset search, how do you use the version comparison operator? For example, find assets with old Office versions pre-2016. All right, let me share my screen. So I was just doing this because I actually have never run a saved asset search that way. So I was just going to grab one and I'm going to edit this. Oops, I hit the button first. I'm going to edit. I made one for Malwarebytes, and I did equals to, and I picked the machine. Like I picked the version here and I said equals to. So as far as I know, you can do the version and then do like greater than or equal to, like whatever that might be. So you can save it that way. And so let's see, this is going to repopulate. Did I do greater than or equal to? Anyways, the main thought here is that you add the version to the actual this part, and then you just use the greater than or equal to, or that's greater than or equal to, or greater than, all of that good stuff. And if anyone has any other insight there. Let's see here. I haven't really.
This is yeah, I can take this one from Jeremy. I think it's going to be a feature request, but it's an interesting one. So he says, how would you create a standard set of tickets assigned to a client? For a use case, when we onboard a new client, I want to create a set 6 to 12 usually of onboarding tickets based on the package the client is signing up for. That way, time can be tracked and nothing is missed. I've toyed with using the API and even creating a Synchro script I ran on my own machine that creates a set of tickets. However, there's no option under the ticket of bulk actions to move a batch of tickets to a different client. So they'd have to be moved by one. Not ideal ideas. Perhaps having a ticket set deploy feature built into Synchro would be a moneymaker and time saver for all of us. I don't have a super clear answer for you. What I do want to recommend is, and I don't know if this would be helpful to you specifically in how you're describing things, but I know that with the ticket custom fields, you do have the capability to utilize these to link to other custom fields. So to use a URL basically to put into here. So if that somehow helps you link the 6 to 12 tickets that are completely separate from this ticket and you're tracking time mainly on this one, and maybe you don't have those, maybe those are just kind of clean tickets that you're not really keeping track of notes, but you're kind of following certain steps on those tickets, but you're keeping all your notes in this main kind of master ticket. Maybe that would help. So again, if you could build ticket custom fields and then just have like the specific one I'm showing you here. I have fields filled out to where you can have a URL and you can have multiple of those. So in case you haven't considered that, maybe that would be another direction, but I will pass along your request to our team as well and see if they have any suggestions too.
Sweet. Awesome. I'm going to grab a couple here. Is there a way to reboot an asset without actually going remote? So one thing, I'll just share my screen really quick. If you can do this super quick, if you use the quick view modal, it's already in favorites. So this is just to reboot the machine just super quick. You don't launch into a remote session. Just click of a button. Let's see here. And then the other one, this is a feature request as far as I know, because yeah, the dashboard gives the last boot time. Instead, if it can give uptime in days, hours, that would help. So I agree. That hasn't been done, right, Tatiana? Like I know that that's a feature request. So some things, we release things so fast that sometimes I forget, but I don't think that, I don't think that's hit production, but I know it's been requested often. Let's see here. Justin says this is feedback and I like it. Invoice ticket templates are really useful to break down work by location, but they only appear if you generate a separate invoice for each individual ticket. It would be nice to have a bulk action that lets us check multiple tickets to generate individual ticket invoices in bulk, because if you need to use the invoice ticket template on your invoice, you can't take advantage of the add any pending ticket charges of reoccurring invoices, which makes invoicing a painful manual process. Interesting. I wish I could figure out, I wish there was a way to solve that. So like, I guess here's my question. Are you saying that like, I just want to make sure I'm understanding the feature request. So like if you had a bunch of tickets here, you would want the bulk action to be able to like select all of these and make an invoice from here. I'm assuming that's what the request would be, which makes sense. I get that. Cool. We can pass that along. What's next?
Dean says, hi all, it's Friday. Okay, back to business. Is there a way to send out statements each month to customers? I actually don't know of a way. I know that you can preview a PDF statement in the customer profile. Crystal, if you want to show that section, or if you want me, I can share my screen as well.
Go ahead.
So there is a way to see the PDF statement here. And then I guess you can download an email from there, but I don't know. I don't think we have a statement template at this time. I'll let you guys know. I'm double checking with support, and if I hear otherwise, I will keep you guys updated. Am I completely off?
No, I don't think so. I guess the one thing that I was gonna look at.
Oh, you know what? I'm completely wrong.
Okay.
And that's okay. It happens. Yes, we do have a statement template. It's there. I'll share my screen and I'll show you guys. If you guys go over to your PDF and email templates here, there's a statement template right there. I wonder, email templates, and then the statement email right there too. Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, and so the instructions there say when you attach. See, I'm learning something new today. This is awesome. When you attach an email to a statement, your customer gets this email with the statement attached. Awesome. There you go.
Sweet. I know, you guys, Synchro does so many things that those things that you don't get asked every single day, like kind of like go back into this place where you forget things are there. I do that all the time. I do that all the time.
Yeah. A follow-up from Justin. He says, yes, the statement template is there. The email button on the customer will email out the template. But the question was if there's a way to schedule it to run on a regular schedule. I'll double check. I'm going to say the wrong thing, so I'll double check before I give you the answer.
was wondering if there was a way, if the statement was if there was like reports or like a statement report.
Oh, smart.
Gonna look for, but I didn't get to it before. No. Okay. I was just gonna see if there was a report that you could run on a schedule. The other question that I was just seeing here, and I actually don't know the answer to. There used to be a Synchro internal for run antivirus scan. What happened to that? So you're saying there used to be something here. I don't know. I don't remember that being there.
Is it in the, not under the favorites, but just in the regular script section? So the reason sometimes I see scripts in here that I think are not added yet to the library, so I don't show them a ton. For run antivirus scan, I'll check the library too.
Yeah. Interesting. Speaking of scripts, we've got some cool stuff on the way. Scripts.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, unfortunately.
I wonder, I'm curious how long ago you saw it. Like, I wonder if we had that. So, like, here, let's do a brief history run down the Synchro lane. So, launched Synchro. MCSoft was the only integrated antivirus. And so, I think I remember that being there, and there was only one antivirus option. So, it, like, made sense. It was just, like, a quick thing there. I wonder if that went away because now we have WebRoot and Bitdefender, and the script probably wouldn't work the same way. So maybe that.
Yeah, they said that last major Bitdefender update, Syncro added, it disappeared around that time.
That makes sense to me.
That might be it. Yeah.
And then a status on scaled down and lowered price tech only version of Syncro MSP. So only tech only version. I don't know about that. I don't think we're going to have like a different tier just for like just RMM. I have heard talks of like a different tier for, admin folks, or, that just log in, or a view only, or that kind of thing. But as far as like a lower price for an actual technician, or like RMM only, I haven't really heard much on that front.
Oh yeah, Dean says, how about accountant only? They only view invoices and download statements.
Yeah, Dean, that's something that we're working on. We'd like to solve that. We'd like to solve that pretty soon. It's become a growing request. So that is like closer to being solved than being sort of RMM only. All right. Phew. There was a flurry there for a second. Oh, another one. I'll just read it out loud since it's the only one in the queue right now. When we email an invoice to a customer, two options appear at the bottom: pay with credit card and pay with PayPal in my case. The first one shows as a text link. The second shows with a PayPal button image. Is there a way to add a credit card button or convert PayPal to text? This is a cosmetic issue.
Good question.
I don't know if that's something that you could go into like the invoice email template and do something fun with that. I don't actually know. That's the first time I've heard that.
Like with the HTML editing. Yeah. I didn't realize that maybe the PayPal one is influencing that template somehow from their side, not something that we have organically built in. Because
that makes sense too. Yeah, it might not be a changeable thing via the integration, like as you're saying. Yeah, that would make sense. PayPal automatically. Yeah. Let's see. Are you guys going to create a desktop app for the chat system? Dean, I know that we're continuing to add additional functionality to chat based upon everyone's awesome feature requests. I haven't heard that one. I like it. kind of a totally standalone desk. I could see that. I could see that in the future. I haven't heard that request though yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, chat is awesome, isn't it? Chat is so awesome. If I understand the antivirus scan question correctly, can't you choose antivirus on the asset page and click full or quick scan? Yes, Rick, you absolutely can. You can just go to the asset and click it. So like, I think that they were just looking for that internal, like where it was showing on scripts and it's no longer there. But yes, you absolutely can still do like, especially, so I think I've got MC Soft here. So yeah, you can just quickly click here and run a scan from here as well. Yeah, you can force that. Thanks, Rick. Oops, I think I clicked out of one.
No, that was me. Someone was asking about a world pay question and some details there, so I sent over our contact information for world pay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good stuff. Oh, all right. It's funny. I'll stop sharing, and then yep, it's like clockwork. I stop sharing, and then new questions come in, which is always good. We like questions till the very end.
Mm-hmm. Dean says, "Well, we're talking about scans. WebRoot doesn't show recent activity like MC-Soft. Is it just me, or is it like that for everyone else?" Yes, I'm not sure. I don't know on this one actually.
It's not just you. MC Soft is the most integrated antivirus option, and everything with like both WebRoot and Bitdefender, all of history and all of like scans and threats found and things like that are in the actual WebRoot or Gravity Zone console. So no, you're not missing anything.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Jeremy says, "Does chat honor business hours? If not, functionality to handle sorry not now, submit a ticket message would be nice. Just a 3-minute pause for the auto reply would be nice." Cool. I like that. I know within, let me share my screen. I know within the policies, when you set your, let me get back out of the statements, when you go over to your, when you're adding the chat to the system tray icon, there is like an away type of message. I think that is what he's referring to. The unavailable message is, I wasn't aware that it was on a 3-minute mark, but it might be. But
yep, yeah, it's 3 minutes. It's not configurable as far as like time frame goes, but we've been adding business hours all over the place. It would be cool to be able to add business hours to chat.
Another option with it out of business hours message would be nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. I'll pass that along for sure, Jeremy.
Those are really good. Mm-hmm. Speaking of this, I'm sure you've all seen this, but the community engagement track that we're doing in Facebook, where like if you have those quality of life improvements, like those are gold. Like business hours to chat, to me, I'm like, go to Facebook right now and put that in that thread, because I mean, as you can see, we're releasing, we're doing stuff there. We're actually like taking people what they're saying and we're turning it around. So I would recommend that, but yes, we'll pass that one along too, because I can definitely see the value there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dean, you're out of questions. 7 minutes left. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. I am going to the lake this weekend and have zero cell phone or internet connection for an entire weekend.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
And I'm trying not to go into full panic mode.
I can relate to that for sure. I know it's so weird being here, like even knowing that there's nothing going, being able to check that there's nothing going on is for some reason helpful as well. Oh, question about the Tuesday open office hours. Are the Tuesday meetings canceled? Nope. We were there. I don't think you were there, but we were. We do them. I think it's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time We tried a second time slot, and I think the 1 p.m. one is available for more people. So that is the one that we have.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah, Brian, I think it would be cool to bring like, it's been a long time. It's been too long since we've had a guest on open office hours. Would
Yeah,
be, it'd be fun to have a developer come on and tell you all the cool stuff.
that would be super cool. Yeah, and I think last open office hour, we were talking about the interviews that we used to do. I mean, we've only done 2, but like interviewing an actual MSP and how they got started with Synchro and their experience and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
if you guys want to see that, let us know.
Yeah.
Praise. Developers would be bombarded. Yeah, that would be, I feel like that would be a fun one.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. I agree. Um, I'm, yeah, they would be bombarded. Um, oh, go ahead, Tatiana. Do you want to get for Brian?
He says, I cannot remember where I found it. Is there a way to see all applications installed on all assets? Yes. If you would go on a single endpoint and you would see in the installed apps section there. But for all assets, you do, so it would be in here for just that one endpoint. But for all assets, I believe it's in the report section. So if you go here, I think there's a software inventory report. And you can do it for looks like one specific customer. So maybe there isn't a way to do it across. Is there a reason that you would want it on all assets? It would be on a customer per customer basis at this time, Brian.
Yeah.
Justin says, how do you find out or register for Tuesday open office hours? I've only ever seen the link on Facebook once and then never again. Oh, we're not trying to not have you guys join. The Tuesday ones are, I feel, better suited for people who are in trial. We call them special edition trial Tuesdays, and it's it's a much slower pace. We have the time to kind of open up the KB, take a look at things together. I wouldn't say it's just not as like rapid paced as it is here, but I'll drop this into the chat box for you guys. And if you guys want to join, you are all welcome.
Sweet. The other thing I was going to add is that here's our users group. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? No. Okay. I'm just going to put that into the chat. Doop. That's our users group. It's super awesome. The community is great and active. It's not a creepy question. We're on the West Coast. We're both in Eastern Washington State, actually. And then Rick says, is it just me? What's going on with remote access? I've noticed a significant improvement. That's great to hear. We are constantly updating Synchro Live, constantly putting dev work into it and working on it. So glad to see you're seeing improvement. Let's see, what else? I guess it'd be best to call it system tree policy to match no. Jeremy, I'm trying to catch up on all this.
There's a lot of like really fun, like just completely random comments in here today.
I'm gonna have a nice weekend. Don't get too relaxed. I'm gonna try to get so relaxed.
You deserve it. You're here like all hours of the day, every single weekend. I don't think you've ever taken a day off, you guys. This is Crystal.
Love Synchro.
I know you do.
You. Yes.
He says, don't forget to come back. Relax is totally required. Yes, see? The request is for Crystal to take some time to relax.
It's like calling the kettle black here, just so you all know. And Tatiana should relax as well. Just saying.
I know we do. This is fun for us, you guys. We completely enjoy it. Like we want to be here all day, every weekend. So
yes,
we have to force each other to take a break.
Take some time off.
Yeah, Fuzzy, I just dropped that into the chat box again. The Tuesday open office hours in the Facebook group. Let me see. Let me know if you can see those.
Oh, I think I typed it to just Tatiana.
That's okay.
See,
Brian says, "Cool, you get paid to have fun." We really do. We have such a blast here. We love hosting these for you guys, and we appreciate that you guys come to these and let us be here for you too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you all for hanging out. I remembered to hit the record, so you can check this again later if you missed anything. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful, fun, safe weekend, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.